Welcome to hashtag This Is Me, Stories of Living Heart First, a listening series by ARC, a Rainbow Collective. Here we hold space for the tender, strange, and powerful ways people live creatively, love freely, and move through the world with heart first. In this noisy world, we are tuning into something deeper, who we are beneath the performance, the product, the labels. Today, I'm joined by Sarabhi.
Thank you.
Okay. How would you like to introduce yourself without mentioning your job or your role?
Whoa. Okay. That's a difficult one because I feel like all I've been doing right now is my job. But I think I'd like to think of myself as an artist, but it lately I don't know how much of that I've been doing. Not just lately, but for a while now, because it feels like you're just trying to do what you really want while you also try to kind of survive in the world and all of that. But yeah, that's probably what I would say. An artist, a friend. I think I always see myself as a friend to people. Like that's how I kind of like the most really like I guess the dominant like relationships in my throughout my life have been like friends. Like however like wherever I've moved to, so it's like okay, I'm like a friend to people. That sounds so weird. Yeah.
What feels like home to you right now in your body, your life, and your art?
Because I move around a lot, I really like that time that you get when you're traveling from one place to another. So whether it's like on a train or a flight or whatever it is, but especially like trains and longer journeys, you like know you have like okay, I have 12 hours to myself or like 7 hours, and I don't even like doing any work or anything else. I just like to just be like on the train or like just listen to music or something like that. So I find that very, I think at least in the past 1 or 2 years, that's felt a lot like home for me. And definitely Goa has felt like home, like being here in Aldona has felt like home. In my art, I always like, for example, when I'm shooting, I like the flow state that you get into when because you're not thinking about time and you're not thinking about you're just sort of like right before, like once you're getting to the place when you're going to shoot or when you're leaving, all of these times you have like so many thoughts. But while you're actually doing it, it's like then there's nothing else. You're just focusing on that one thing. So then that definitely feels very homely for me. Yeah.
What's one memory or moment that shaped the way you see the world today?
I mean, there's many. I think when I was younger, I was kind of a bad friend to someone. And I think that really did shape a lot of like, because it really, I think like, if you ask me if there's one thing I would, okay, I'm twisting the question around a little bit, but it was like something I really regret, like very, I mean, you regret a lot of things in your life, but there'll be like small things. You'll be like, oh man, I wish I did it this way or this way. But this was like, I really wish I could go back and change this. So like, it's like, I think that kind of shaped me to not like, and I don't think I've achieved what I've learned from that either, but it was this moment of like following the crowd blindly and going with them instead of listening to myself and kind of ditching someone who was my friend, right? So um I think that moment really shaped me. And I think it's very it's I'm not saying that oh now I always do what I want to do. I don't follow something else. And that's absolutely not true. But I think that's it always sticks with me. Every time I think about things, that always pops up in my head for sure. Yeah.
Hmm. What are you learning to listen to right now?
It's
Something.
actually not listening.
Yeah.
It because I think at least the one project that I'm going to start doing now, if I listen, I'll get. Oh, can I say stuff? No, I think like because I overthink too much, I ruminate a lot. So then it actually for me, I think it's like a constant practice. Like don't listen to yourself, or like don't listen to your head, or yeah. So I think like just listening to like I think I'm trying to move from not thinking too much to just doing,
Hmm.
and also just doesn't matter what happens, just like sort of just go do it. And also concretizing things, like instead of like being in the, like again in your head, or it being something intangible or something like that. Instead, like think about, okay, what's the next step, like what is the action, and just do that. That kind of helps me from not listening to all these other thoughts that kind of float around in your head, for sure. Yeah. But I've also been listening to, I really like listening to the rain actually. I love the rain so much. So it's like,
Is there a sound, silence, or a song that has stayed with you lately?
actually, this is funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's just kind of like it goes with your theme. It's
Hmm.
called Heartbeats by by Derek Hodge. It's just this piano. It's
Mhm.
an instrumental piece.
Hmm.
I don't know, just gives me so much like peace and comfort. It's so nice. And I also like listen to all these, like I'm sometimes I just listen to tracks for like film, and like, like what can I put in like some kind of film I'm making or piece I'm making. So yeah, so then this was one of them also that I was like listening to.
How do you know when it's time to pause or to express?
I think that's definitely a body based thing for me at least. I think my body itself tells me that I can't. So then I just have to listen to it. But sometimes I know that I have to push back against that also. So, I mean, I think earlier, like for example, last year, I got quite burnt out after a while. And so then I knew I had to like, it wasn't even like, I know I have to pause. I just did it. Like it was just very automatic. And, but this year I feel much more energized and rejuvenated. So even though it's been very sort of hectic, I think this year I can tell myself that no, you can't pause.
Hmm.
Even if you like, there's an inclination to. It's like my mind is kind of pushing back on that, saying no, I don't want to pause. I want to like express. So yeah, that's it's. I feel like it's always this battle between the body and the mind, actually. Yeah, or like a conversation between the body and mind.
How does your queerness or your way of being different show up in how you live and create?
So for me, I think everything that I do somehow stems from it's not like a conscious decision, but like more like it's always happened that way, where it stems from something I experienced in my childhood. So
Hmm.
at least so far, a lot of the things that I'm working on or doing have been influenced by experiences then, or thoughts then, or whatever. Yeah, and I think the queerness that you're talking about also existed in childhood.
Hmm.
I'm still kind of in this space where I'm discovering actually my own sense of queerness, and what it means to be queer. I think for the longest time, I also connected it to sexuality only, and not just how I view myself, or just a way of being. So, which I'm kind of really discovering now.
Hmm.
And yeah, and that definitely ties back again to like things how I felt in my childhood, or certain experiences in my childhood. So that, I think it always kind of goes back to that somehow or the other, in a way. Yeah. And that is what also gets reflected in the art that I'm making, or like whatever project I'm working on.
What's one moment of creative freedom that you hold close?
Again, in my childhood, we had this like 1 week, sort of, it was a very random thing that happened. Like there's this person who was traveling through India and stuff, and he was like couch surfing, and somehow he just like landed up at our school, and we did this 1 week workshop with him, and we made a film with him basically.
Hmm.
And I think that was peak freedom I've ever felt in my life. Uh, yeah, when making something, or like doing something artistic, right? Like definitely doing something artistic at that point felt more free. I don't, maybe I'm still very much in a shell, or not, like I haven't like opened out as much yet to feel that sense of freedom again. while making art. But yeah, that was really truly like the most free I've ever felt. I think I just didn't care about what anybody would say or think or do. I was just this person, and like, um, again, like that moment is also now when I look back at it, it is I was very queer in that moment, like however you want to look at it. But yeah, it was just like I really didn't give two shits about what anybody thought or like perceived whatever I was doing. It was just like I was playing a character in a film, and we'd also written this like story, and me and my friends we'd written the story and everything, and I was playing a boy, and it was just like this completely different personality, right? And like it just felt so good, and that personality also kind of existed in real life as well. It wasn't like I just made it up for this thing. So I think yeah, that's when it really felt really freeing in a way. Yeah, to just play.
Who are your people? The ones that remind you it's okay to be exactly who you are.
Definitely Murad, who I live with, and uh, my partner as well, and my mom too, in a lot of ways, even if she doesn't completely understand, certain things. Yeah, and I guess just all my friends, really, just like I said, just friends who really like um, kind of support you and push you, and uh, you bounce ideas off of, and like just so like nice to hear what they have to say about things.
What are you weaving right now, personally, creatively, and communally?
Personally, I think at this moment I'm actually trying to really challenge myself, and I know it's a big challenge because I feel it. um, uh, because I've never made a short film before, like as a fiction film. So that's something that I'm working towards now, and with people from the queer community in Goa. So it's very, very interesting, uh, including you. And yeah, it's really exciting for me because it's a process I never like. If I look back 3 to 4 years before, right, like I would never think that I'd be doing something like this, like being a part of a process like this where you it's a very long process in the sense that it started like end of 23 technically, if I think about it, and now it's and when I just look at that time, it's like how this project has just evolved over time, right? Like about drag in Goa. Initially, it started off as a documentary, and I was shooting, and that idea has not been abandoned. It's still there. There was a break, and then we also did the Super 8 3-minute short
Yeah.
film. And now it's like in a place where I'm trying to explore fiction, but from a very like documentary foundation, because everything that is will be in the fiction piece is actually from like lived experience and
Yeah.
like real lives of people, right? So um I think that way it's a very interesting process for me because it's something I admire that in some filmmakers. So to do that is quite interesting, and it's very revealing also about people, about yourself, about um, just about trusting that process also. So I think in a lot of ways I did find it very hard to trust the process, especially last year. I feel like it's almost like you're trying to get somewhere instead of just going along, like just being with it and like just letting it surprise you, and like just going with the flow. Instead, you're trying to like reach somewhere else, and I think when I started out, I felt like maybe that was the intention I was going with, but then I started to realize it's just terrible. That doesn't work. And that was actually what was holding me back.
Hmm.
So I think since then and now, it's like now there is more trust in the process, and I think a part of that is definitely from um, expanding your like like your team in a way, like to to collaborate with more people who can support you and who can like, not thinking that, oh, I'm doing this by myself, or like, like understanding that, hey, listen, you're also just one part of this. Relax, like
Yeah.
like there are other people, and especially when you meet someone new and they really connect with this idea, and to know that there is someone there with you as well on this journey, that's like that's very, it's very assuring. And yeah, and I think that's why community and like doing it as a collab, like really like, I mean, everybody always says it, like filmmaking is a collaborative medium, and I think more and more I am understanding that a lot better than before. Yeah, I think my personal life has definitely taken a back seat, maybe because I feel like I've been focusing on all of this a lot. But I don't know, I think I'm trying to, I was just thinking about this like today morning also. I was like, yeah, I'm actually like, I haven't been in touch with, say, just doing things for your well being, maybe, or like for your, whether it's love or whether it's like, I think that I've really put that at the back and I don't want to do that. I want to bring it back in
Yeah.
front. So right now I'm not leaving anything there, but like, I really do want to, and like, make sure that I spend time with the people in my life, especially family. I think I definitely learned a lot this year about family. So like it was like spending time with my mom a little bit more, which I do. I think that's nice, but I could do it a lot more. But like, yeah, and I think just like traveling. I think I haven't traveled in a bit, like, so I just want to, maybe once this chapter kind of is over, then I think I'll just spend time with friends more. I just want to be like, I think I want to give time to other people a lot more than sort of being cocooned in my house or just being by myself or something like that. Yeah.
What's something you have unlearned that's helped you live more freely?
Like, don't try to control the result so much. I think that's definitely one thing. I don't know if I've unlearned it fully, but it definitely there's a that stage of like, I've definitely like improved in that department. I feel like, yeah. I don't know if this is unlearning, but it definitely made a huge impact on my life. It's not unlearning. It does not answer your question, but it is something that helps me live more freely, which is actually just, I think, so I was with a dog for like 6 months last year, and I've never had a dog before. I always loved cats and I love dogs a lot. I love all animals, but it was like the first time that I took care of a dog and it completely changed my life. I'm not even kidding. That is the one thing that actually genuinely changed my life. Like it it just like, and then after that, like ever since then, every dog I see on the street, I'm just like, wow, wow, wow. Like I really think like animals and pets and like just dogs, cats, whoever it is, like they've really like changed my life that way. So I think they've actually helped me live more freely. Because I think there's a certain just the certain purity and innocence of just like being an animal, right? Like you look at a cat and be like, oh man, I wish I was that cat. So it's like, yeah, I think that's really been something that's like freed me up, or like just brings more joy into my life. Yeah, for sure.
Last bit. Finish this sentence. This is me and I dot dot dot.
This is me, and I want to be courageous enough to fail.
Thank you, Sarvi, for letting us into your world, your heart, and your creative rhythm. Before we end, do you want to tell everybody what you do?
Yes, hello. So my name is Sarabhi, and I work as a creative producer in Goa, mainly working with films and other creative media. And I'm also building my life as a filmmaker as well. And I'm working on a short fiction film right now in Goa. Uh, yeah, and I hope that everybody sees it very soon.
To everyone tuning in, thank you for listening, feeling, and being here. Keep creating, keep becoming, and always live heart first. See you next time on hashtag This Is Me.
Nice.